Welcome back. All right, so I want to talk about the Anaheim Ducks. So the Ducks, of course, will be wearing a logo very similar to this on their 30th anniversary jersey. They won't be wearing this. They won't be going back to this necessarily, but I thought I'd wear that because it may not be the prettiest picture this year for Anaheim. Or maybe the depth down the middle helps them out, right? So when we look at this team, the first thing you'll notice is the cap space is ridiculous, $29,873,333. But the asterisk to that is Zegras and Terry are unsigned, Drysdale's unsigned. They're all restricted free agents, and we'll see how it goes for them, right? Now they have a new coach in Greg Cronin. I don't get into the new coaching part yet with a lot of these, but I wanted to talk about it a bit here because Dallas Eakins, there were definitely struggles with the Ducks this year that I think we would have seen a change behind the bench, but Verbeek didn't want to make that change until the offseason. So we'll see how things work for Cronin, but it is always nice to see a new face getting a chance to run things behind the bench. And the Ducks had options. They decided to go with Cronin, and we'll see how things work out for them with this one. The Ducks this year, it was a disappointment, and I don't think the Ducks were expected by anybody to make the playoffs, but they were 31st in goals for, 32nd in goals against, and they kind of took a step back. So 2018-2019, they had a record of 35, 37, and 10. And this was after they'd been in the playoffs in 2018. So then they just fall right off. They were 29, 33, and 9 the following season. 17, 30, and 9 the following season. 31, 37, and 14 in 21-22, meaning it looked like things were getting better. And then this past season, 23, 47, and 12. So maybe if they'd made the coaching change during the season, maybe things would have gotten better earlier. So we'll see with a new coach behind the bench how things work for the Anaheim Ducks this year. Their attendance I thought was worthy of note as well. So 2019-2020, 15,847 fans in attendance. 2021-2022, the number drops to 13,083. This year they almost get back to where they were prior. 14,953. I expect that number to be well above 15,000. I expect it to be around the 16,000 mark because there's a lot of reasons to go out and watch this team, even if they're not winning a bunch of games. So, when we look at the forward group, we'll start with the left-hand side here. You've got Henrique. He's on an expiring contract. So if the Ducks struggle or if things just look like, they're trending towards not playoffs or not playing important games earlier in the season than they might want, Henrique might end up on the block. Killorn added, very, very solid addition with Alex Killorn. Did they overpay? Probably by a little. But if you're going to convince a guy to come and play in Anaheim and he's a veteran, he's got cup rings, you're probably going to have to overpay him to do it. Frankie Vatrano, everybody knows I love Vatrano's game. If I had to get a jersey with somebody's number on the back, I would probably choose Vatrano's from the Ducks at this point. Brock McGinn is on the board as well. McGinn, I think, can be solid in a bottom six role. Agazino's there as well, solid depth forward. Again, can play well in a bottom six role. Regenda, 23 years of age. Does he get another look? Does he end up getting some time? We'll see. And Tracy's 22 years of age, was a number 29 pick in 2019. So if Tracy's going to break through and show anything at the NHL level, this would probably be the year for that to happen. And then we go with down the middle. Now, this is where things are really interesting because you add Leo Carlsson, the number 2 pick in 2023. You've got Nathan Gauthier here as well. 19 years of age, the number 22 pick in 2022, which is nice. All those twos, right? But yeah, between Gauthier and Carlsson, they're both going to want to have jobs, and so maybe somebody ends up moving to the wing that currently looks like they should be down the middle. Zegras, 20 years of age, restricted free agent, the number 9 pick in 2019. Just imagine if you had Zegras, say, on the left-hand side, and you have Zegras, Carlsson, and Terry. That could be quite the scoring line, right? McTavish, 20 years of age, the number 3 pick in 2021. I think McTavish had a very solid season. I think he's going to be a star in the NHL. Lundestrom, the number 23 pick in 2018 and currently 23 years of age. Tells you that what we could see down the middle is entirely first-round picks for the Anaheim Ducks. So they've drafted well down the middle. Apparently, they're very good at finding centers, and so we'll see how it works out. Again, you can never have too many centers. You can definitely have too many wingers, though. Sam Carrick, does he get to play? How does this all work out? It's going to depend on who gets deployed on which lines and where in the lineup. Nestorenko, 21 years of age, did not look out of place when given an opportunity last season. Godin, I believe Nestorenko played a few games for Anaheim last season. Godin, of course, out of the Calgary organization not too long ago. He's on an expiring deal. So you've got Henrique, Agazino, Sam Carrick, and Godin, all as players who are in contract years. And Grew, 23 years of age, signed as a restricted free agent. Signed his extension this past week. So we'll see how it all shakes down the middle. Then on the right-hand side, you have Troy Terry, 25 years of age. As previously mentioned, he's a restricted free agent. Ryan Strome, who gave them good production. His contract's not awful. I could see a potential scenario where maybe Strome becomes available because of all of these young players needing some ice time to play. Silverberg's on an expiring contract. Silverberg's had a couple of down years. We'll see if he can bounce back. Max Jones, 25 years of age. He was a number 24 pick back in 2016. So again, for Jones, this might be an opportunity for him to really solidify his role as a fourth liner. But he's also got Leeson fighting for that spot too. Leeson's 24 years of age. He, of course, added from the Washington organization last year. DeLeo, he's on an expiring contract. And there's Perreault, the number 27 pick in 2020, 21 years of age. Does Jacob Perreault push towards a job in the NHL? And as I've been mentioning, you've got Perreault, you've got Tracy. If they end up being misses in the first round, it's okay. They've got a bunch of other hits in the first round. That's the important thing about having lots of draft picks and not trading away draft picks, is you have a better chance of being able to hide that player that doesn't quite pan out at the NHL level by having other guys that do. Then you get to the blue line, and it's fascinating looking at their defense. You've got Cam Fowler, who was a number 12 pick back in 2010, so 13 years since Fowler's draft year. He is the linchpin for the blue line. Drysdale, if healthy, I like Drysdale quite a bit. 21 years of age, he was the number 6 pick in 2020. They need him healthy. He needs to score, I would say, 40-plus points, and I think he's absolutely capable of doing that. Haig, added in the offseason. Gudas, added in the offseason. Gudas, you can argue, is a top 4 player. Is Haig a top 4 player? Probably not. Colton White's here. White and Haig both on expiring deals. You've got Vakanainen, 24 years of age. If he stays healthy, is he in the top 6? Trevor Carrick is here as well. Do both Carricks end up breaking training camp as members of the Ducks roster? Hellison, 22 years of age, highly thought of prospect. Lacombe, 22 years of age. Mintyukov, a number 10 pick in 2022. He's 19 years of age, and I'm anxious to see what Olin Zellweger can do. He was a second-round pick. He's 19 years of age as well. So again, lots of good young players here. Some draft picks that are looking to push their way into a top role. And yeah, this is a blue line that definitely needs a little bit of work. I'm not going to say it's one of the top defenses, but what I like with the forward group, I can see there being some lacking with defense. And then one of the reasons why the Ducks are one of the last teams I'm profiling, John Gibson. He's still a Duck at the time I'm recording this, and I say that because every report seems to be that Gibson's probably going to end up on his way out of town. He wants out. He has disputed, though, the idea that he will never play a game again in Anaheim, because that was being reported, and Gibson said, no, I didn't say that. So Gibson's definitely anxious to get a chance to win somewhere, but if you trade Gibson, you kind of want a goaltender back. Dostal, 23 years of age, I think a solid backup. I saw him play in Vancouver here this past season. I think he's a good goaltender. They've also got Calle Klang, who's 21 years of age, seen as a solid prospect. But you can't go with Dostal and Klang. That's not going to work. So Gibson, you trade him out. You have to get a goaltender back. The good news being, even with Zegras and Terry, even if they both got $8 million each, let's just say they both got $8 million each, and Drysdale gets 3. Let's just say Drysdale 3, so $19 million, you'd still have almost $11 million in cap space. And Gibson's $6.4 million cap hit. You trade that out, you can bring back a goaltender, and maybe you're bringing back another contract with them just to make the math work. But the Ducks are in a good position to improve themselves via a Gibson trade, or if he doesn't get traded, and if he's willing to play it out this season, who knows? Maybe we get closer to this 29-33-9 record. Maybe they're better, they're competitive, they're no longer one of the worst teams in goal scoring and goals against. And Gibson says, you know what? I'll stick around. We'll see. And again, maybe a new coach would help as well. Different feeling on the ice, different feeling around the team. But again, I think the team will try to trade Gibson. But let me know your thoughts. Where do you think Gibson would end up? Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.